Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Philip No explaining. So we have a problem here on how to find the inverse function. And this is the question: if fx is equals to negative 3 over 4x plus 2, find the inverse. So in order to find the inverse function of this function, for the first thing to do is to determine if the function has an inverse. We have to ask ourselves, is the function a one-to-one function? If the function is a one-to-one function, then we move to the next step. And if the function is not a one-to-one function, then we say that the function does not have an inverse. And now we stop there. If the function is not a one-to-one function, we stop there. We say that the function does not have an inverse. But if it's one-to-one function, then we move to the next step, which is the next step is we change fx to y, and now again, and then we switch x and y. After that we solve for y, then we change y back to f inverse of x, or I can write the steps here. Steps to find the inverse function. Steps, you can say that first step we determine it's if the function has an inverse. Is the function a one-to-one function? If the function is a one-to-one function, go to step 2. If the function is not a one-to-one function, then say that the function does not have an inverse, and stop. So this is step 2. Change. After determining if the function has an inverse, that is, if a function is one-to-one function, then change fx to y, then 3 switch x and y, then 4 solve for y, then the last step, change y back to inverse, fx inverse. Are we there? So in my previous video, I have talked about what is a one-to-one function, how to know if it's a one-to-one function. I've also talked about the horizontal line test. So if you have not watched that video, I've already uploaded the video. Please make sure you watch. It's here on my channel. Please make sure you watch. So we start with the first step to determine if the function has an inverse, if the function is a one-to-one function. So if to determine that fx, if we are to determine that fx, this negative 3x over 4 plus 2 is a one-to-one function, we need to look at the graph of fx. Since fx is, if we plot this graph, it's a linear equation. Fx is a linear equation, and you can it's a linear equation. Fx is a linear equation. The graph of fx is a line with the slope of negative 3 over 4 and the y-intercept of 0, 2. Remember, if x is 0, y is 2. Or we can plot. And now, if we plot the graph, that's the graph. So we want to draw a horizontal line. Remember the horizontal line test. And I repeat it, if you have not watched my video on to know if a function is a one-to-one function, please make sure you have watched it. So we draw a horizontal line. If it passes that line, then it's a one-to-one function. You can see that our graph has passed the horizontal line test. It has only crossed it once. Even if you extend this line, it only crosses the line once. But if it had crossed it more than once, then we can say that our function is not one-to-one. Are you there? But since it has crossed once, even if we extend this line, it will remain crossing once here. Are you there? So it has passed the horizontal line test, and therefore our function fx is a one-to-one function, and therefore it has an inverse. Are we there? So we are done with the first step. The second step is to change fx to y. Fx, remember, is equals to negative 3 over 4 x plus 2. So we change this to y, so it becomes, we just where there's fx, we substitute y. Y is equals to negative 3 over 4 x plus 2. Then the third step, switch x and y. Where there is x, we put y. Where there's y, we put x. So it's like we are just changing this x and y. So here, where there's y, you say x is equals to negative 3 over 4. Where there's x, we put y plus 2. Are we there? We are done with step 3. Step 4, we solve for y. Now we make y the subject of the formula, so that this becomes x. When 2 crosses the equal sign, remember you're making y the subject of the formula, so when 2 crosses the equal sign, it becomes negative. Positive 2, negative 2 is equals to negative 3 over 4 4y. Are we there? So after that, we multiply both sides by 4 over negative 3 times 4 over negative 3, 2, so that we can remain with y on the right hand side. Are we there? So this becomes 4 over 3, remember it's a negative, x minus, this time this is 8 over 3, but remember here is a minus, so it becomes positive. Are we there? Is equals to y. So our y is equals to negative 4 over 3x plus 8 over 3. After that, we go to step 5, which says that change y back to f(x) inverse. So f x inverse is equals to, we just copy this, negative 4 over 3x plus 8 over 3. And up to that point we are done, and that is the inverse function of our function fx. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time, bye bye.